Hello, everyone. I'm Zephi coming to you for the energy of the week. Actually, we've been doing, as you noticed, kind of like a month of the energy of the month because we all tried to get together and it's been kind of hard with the holidays and we all be traveling and doing different things. I'm in Greece. I know Kathy was traveling for 6 weeks. The other girls are traveling now. So, it's whenever the energy feels right, we're here for you to actually to explain to you what's going on with the energy of the week. And it's kind of like when we do the energy of the week, as you notice, Kathy, even the previous ones that you were not on and we were missing you a lot. We kind of talked about the whole month. I don't know if you heard some of it. I'm sure you did, because it feels like the energy is full with everything, with the negative and the positives and everything that's going on right now, because it's just not an easy time for a lot of people, as you know, and it's not an easy time for the world, but there's some good energies that coming in to actually help us a little bit through this struggle that we've been going through. And I have a feeling, and I don't know how you feel, but then up to the 15th, there's some good energies coming in. There's some good luck going to happen to people. And I feel there's a fullness about it. So do you feel like saying something about that?
Yeah, I feel like in the last few weeks, there's been this big cosmic shift, and that there has been this expansive energy and this sort of flow. And if you're in alignment with that flow, things are starting to flourish and bloom. And if you're out of alignment with that flow, things are really challenging and sort of combative and a lot of resistance. And so I feel like if you can sort of find that space where you're in that flow, then you're kind of welcoming in that abundance. And it's very large. It's like there's a lot of things happening all at once. And sort of to just say yes, to be able to embrace that, even if it is challenging, even if there are some ups and downs, to sort of notice where you're resistant and to sort of lean in and let go is kind of what I've been experiencing a lot lately.
Yeah. And the thing is, what I have noticed is it's been the energy of fear. A lot of people are really stuck in the fear still because it feels like they, it's they're trying to come out of the fear, but then they get back in it. So maybe that's also they're not able to be in the flow of the energy.
Mhm.
And how strong you can be and releasing your fears is also a big thing right now. Because to me, yeah, everybody can be in alignment, but then if the fear comes in, then you get thrown off alignment. You know
Yeah.
how it is and how easy that is. Okay, we all been there, we all done it. So it's like I feel that we need to just kind of tell everyone that not to be afraid, not to be stuck in this place. Oh my God, I feel left out, or I feel that it's not going to work for me, or to even get mad at things, or to have an emotion behind it, an emotion attached behind it.
I completely agree with that. And I think it's true. It's like we get into sort of that reactive mode of, something comes into our purview. We have this resistance. We get afraid. We don't know kind of what to do. And our first sort of knee jerk reaction is no help, or whatever that anxious energy is. And then we need that moment, that sort of redirect, that sort of breath almost that gives us a little bit of a different way to navigate. And I think it's also a little bit about like what we're listening to, what we're bringing into our environment, what we're kind of giving our attention and energy towards, and our perspective about how we're kind of looking at something. So I think we can look through that lens of fear, through our eyes of fear, or we can look through our lens of opportunity or possibility. But we're very conditioned, or we've been in lots of sort of energetic things that have kept us in that place. So it's almost like a relearning, a rebirth into this new way, and almost a practice of working on that as well.
Yeah. And also what's coming to mind is that we have the resistance comes from us having a set how we look at things. Like we set it up and we're like, okay, this is the box that I want to go in. And if it comes a different way, we get shaken and we get, well, but I want it this way. And it's not coming that way, but it's coming in a different way. So that's the flow I think that we need to go in also, not to have a specific way of thinking of things, and just kind of be open to what the universe has to bring us as a gift. And I think when we do that, then that gift multiplies. Instead of us having resistance, it's not enough, or it's too big, or it's too little, or whatever that might be, And that's how the fear comes in, because we have a set goal or a set thing how we want things to be in our lives. And sometimes lately, that's not really working anymore. The fifth dimension does not want that. It wants flexibility. It wants you to just go, okay, I did not get this, but I'll get it this way. And then, you know what I mean?
Yes. And I think it's this act of surrender, right? And this
Yes.
act of just saying, okay, to like that sacred yes, where things are coming in, and like noticing our resistance, because that resistance is going to come up, right? We have all of the sort of trappings of life, I'll say, right? Where it's like, but this, but that, I got to do this. And there's all this pressure. And then taking that breath, taking that moment and saying, okay, like you said, it might not look the way you thought it would, or it might not be the way you expected it. And it's like, you're so sort of attached to this other way, and you have to readjust yourself. And sometimes and I do think the more you practice it, the easier that becomes. But then also when you do resist, when you are struggling, to just have that moment with yourself, forgive yourself, first of all, because that is part of it. But then to just say, okay, how can I, look at this maybe a little bit differently? Because there is abundance right now. The universe wants to bring us abundance. And if we keep thinking that the abundance has to be a specific way or in a, whatever, we are going to miss some of the abundance that the universe is actually trying to give us right now.
Yeah. And also that's the fear of creating abundance is, can we bring abundance in? Also, people are really questioning that because of the way they want to look at things, because the world is struggling. The whole world is struggling right now, correct? Not just me and you or our audience, but everybody's struggling of how does it look like? How can I go to the next level? Can I be secure of what's going on in the world? And the security doesn't come from what's going on in the world. The security comes what's going on with you. And this is what I've been kind of telling a lot of my students here, is really focus on what your intuition is telling you and where you want to go, and not the actual resistance. You know what I mean? Because the resistance is there to come up and show you part of yourself.
Absolutely.
That you can just be okay with, love it, and then it will go away. But then maybe you can ask yourself also, why are you resisting? What is the reason? Why do I want to resist? And people don't really realize that, because you can tell people, oh, well, you're afraid of something. And they go, well, I'm not really afraid, but I really think about fear. So, you know what I mean? It's like,
completely.
And in our minds, their minds is a little bit confusing of what fear is and how it looks like.
I think that is right on the money, as they say, because I think that when we're in that place of resistance, that place of fear, that it is really important to ask yourself, what's this about? What's underneath here? Like, even when you're getting in that judgmental place, right? When you're judging yourself, you're judging others, you're judging experiences, and you're and people or places or things aren't behaving the way that you think they should be.
I like the word behaving.
And so you have to take that moment and drop in and be like, what is this about? Why am I resisting this? What's really underneath that? And there usually is fear, and there's usually, other things or beliefs or, the sense of how we perceive what we need, or our own capability to handle something. But that's not actually the truth, right? That's just a perception based on information that we've sort of fabricated. So the truth is that in that moment, it's really about that moment, right? There's an opportunity. And are you going to open yourself to that opportunity or not? And sometimes you have to go through that resistance. It's not like you have to just be like, oh, I'm perfectly unresistant to everything. Like, you know, and like you said, it's not just me, but it's the world. But as there is a lot of turmoil in the world and uncertainty, and it's like, how are you going to walk through that? Because you're right, it's about yourself. It's about what's inside of you. It's about your relationship to that. And that is an ongoing daily activity.
And also, it's very important now where we are is to follow our intuition. It's so important to follow what we feel inside for ourselves, not what everybody's telling us, because the world is telling us other things, and then that's also resistant. We feel another thing. But if we have a proof of abundance, because let me take it back to abundance. If we have a proof of abundance, then we should just allow for more abundance to come in by just saying, okay, I resist you, but I'm open up to receive it, in any way that it will come in. So I think that's a big key for us to train ourselves with and let go.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, so I've been very much sort of enmeshed in this process, and the world just decided, like, I opened up the door to abundance, and then so much came in all at once, like in every aspect of everything I'm doing. And then there's that thing when you have all of that level of abundance, because you said yes, then what? And how you then have to like surrender again and again and again. And, so I find that interesting too. I don't know if you've been experiencing that for yourself as well.
Yeah, well, I find out that there are a lot of good things are happening. And there's one thing that is not happening yet, but it's coming. I'm 100% sure. I still I need patience, and Zephy doesn't have patience.
There's your resistance.
Resistance. Where's my resistance on my patience? But the point is that if I see a small gift coming to me, it doesn't matter if it's big or little, I appreciate it. I love it. I get very excited. I even miss it sometimes. And then I have other people remind me, oh, wow, you just got this. I'm like, I thought it was coming from somewhere else and not from there, So it's kind of funny, because that's what just happened this week. And we talked a little bit about it. So it is how we perceive things, it's how we resist things, and how we have patience to actually, recognize the good things that it's coming to us. Like, a good thing, guys, is that our school is really up and going, correct?
Correct.
We really have people signing up, and because our enrollment is started on the 6th of September, and we're going to start classes around the 25th of September. So we just want to welcome you and tell you that please go to our Ancient Healing Academy and check it out, because we're ready and it's full on, and we're here to help people to really learn these techniques and become masters of themselves. And I think that's the big thing of our school. Wouldn't you say that, Kathy?
I would. And I think that it's what we're doing right now, I think, is really important, because like the things that we're talking about with sort of, going with that flow, unlocking our resistance, like really being in that present, and then elevating others to do the same. And I feel like that's really kind of what we're trying to do with the Academy. And, talk about abundance. I think our program, there's so many wonderful opportunities to learn on so many different levels, from so many different sources, that will really give you an abundance. I'm just bringing that word back in, of tools and strategies and insights and your own personal development and growth. And I think, it's also about having a lovely community to support you through that as well.
Absolutely. And we do need light warriors. We need warriors of the light, because the healers need it out there, and healers with a lot of techniques, because there's not going to be one technique that you can just do, but you need all of it. You need to be a whole healer, as I say, because we, not just because we offer all the things, but it's because I don't know how to explain it. A healer is a full master, correct? A full honoring of themselves and all the gifts they have. So yeah, maybe one gift is bigger than the other, correct? But it doesn't matter. It's somehow when you start doing some healing work, the gift that you thought it was less of importance, it might pop in at that moment intuitively and you might use it. So that's what the academy is about, to have all the techniques there. So we really welcome you to really check it out. And like I said, our enrollment started now through the 25th of September. And we're going to ready to go on with all the wise women, which they're not here, the other two, but they will be on the next one. So that was just a little bit of advertising of what we're doing, but that's not only what we wanted to talk about. I think I'm going to go back into really of the struggle that I see in people in the world, and the confusion that people are feeling right now. What do you think about that?
I think that Pluto has been in Capricorn for a long time, and it is about, destroying all of our structures, all of the things that are known. And I think it only has 2 more years. I think it's a 14-year cycle. I think it started in 2008, and I think it goes like 2022 or 23. And so we've seen this around the world, all of this sort of crumbling of institutions. And I think that we're kind of in the tail end of this. And it's like we're walking on an earthquake, right? Like we don't know, there isn't something that is stable and structured. And so, we have to kind of find our balance again. I feel like that's a big thing right now, is to be able to find our balance and then rebuild, right? So as these things start to fall away, or the ways that we used to do things, or just the simple acts, right? Like that we can't do in the same way that we could do them before, right? Or, the things we have to think about now that we never did before. Now we need to be where we are and create these new paradigms, and create them from a place that's really going to build a new kind of support and structure. I do think that, struggle is very real and can be a big challenge for people. And my go-to is always to honor whatever that is for yourself, to feel the things you need to feel, to ask for what you need, and also to sort of nurture yourself inside of it.
And I think also it's a big upgrade that the humanity is going through all this,
I love that.
It's an upgrade. That's where I feel.
I love it.
and it feels that the old needs to fall away so the upgrade can take place, because the upgrade is us thinking in a different way, in a different level, and not be divided and not struggling. The world always been divided. This one wants this, that one wants that. There's, poverty, there's rich, there's all that. So where's, finally, I think the upgrade is going to come to us being equal in a lot of ways. It's the Aquarius age. No matter what Pluto is doing, we're going to Aquarius.
Age of Aquarius, here we come.
And we're seeing the real truth out there. We're seeing the dark stuff that we need to let go, and we see the light. So we have to choose that and really go to this upgrade that's happening in our physical body. Also, I think the physical body is changing. The upgrade is not just in our mind and the way we're doing things, but also in our bodies.
Yeah.
I feel that in me. I don't know if you feel that in you, but
I do. And like when you were talking, like the thought that popped into my head is like a new consciousness, like a new way of perceiving things that like we have not had yet, like, that really, we've been developing, and now it's like another level. Like you said, I love that word, like having an upgrade. It's really great, but it's like, and we can't conceive of it because it's new, it's not something we know yet. And we don't even understand it yet,
Yeah.
but we are embarking upon it. And when you do that, it's like you're shedding a skin, you're releasing things that no longer work. And sometimes it's hard, sometimes that's painful, right?
Yeah.
But that rebirth, that upgrade, that next level is very exciting and very liberating. And it's like you think, oh, I'm going to work and then see it, but sometimes it happens in an instant.
And it happens with you not expecting it. It comes out of left field.
Completely. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I've had a big shift in the last 3 weeks out of nowhere. Like but not out of nowhere, right? It's all the work I've been doing and doing and doing. But then in that moment, it feels like it's out of nowhere.
Yeah, because you all of a sudden you get surprised. Oh, well, did I do that? Did I actually do that? Did I actually feel that way? Did I actually,
right.
Wow, that's big. So it's good to also really look at yourself and congratulate yourself that
right.
you did that work. That's very powerful that what you said. Congratulate yourself for what you
absolutely,
because it's not like
I find for myself for these last month, I just have felt a liberation. Like that's been sort of interesting. Like all that stuff that was like, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that or what if or whatever. Like that's gone, at least for now, because you never know. but that liberation, I think, is also part of this upgrade in a way. I don't know if you're experiencing that at all.
No, for sure. In the end of the month, though, don't forget we have Mercury retrograding. So
which is good because that gives you time to reflect on
exactly
where you're at and to touch and to bring this energy back and clear what's behind you too, which is important.
Exactly. So it's going to be an interesting month. I do have a feeling it's going to be an interesting month.
I think so too.
And an interesting year because, in Greece, they say, you ate the donkey, but now you're eating the tail of the donkey, which is
I've never heard that. I love
it. Like you ate all the good parts and now the tail.
Now you're stuck with the tail.
Hard to digest. So anyway, on that note, we want to really thank you for watching us and being with us. And if you have anything you need to ask us so we can talk about it next time we all get together, please leave us a note and check out the Ancient Healing Academy and also all our websites. And if you need anything from us, we're here. So thank you so much, Kathy, for
thank you, Zeffie. This was a pleasure.
Let's think about the upgrade, huh? The upgrade is
I love that. I'm so into that. I'm getting an upgrade.
We're gonna be like a computer, like an iPhone.
Exactly, Kathy 2.0.